Hey everybody, this is Mike, and I wanted to take a few minutes to go through the Breeders' Own pet food case. And again, I've fixed the numbers on these slides. I think I have, but let me know if you see any funny numbers in here. First question was quantitatively describe the market, all of the potential customers for this case. That would be so it's the amount of dogs nationally, but our market is restricted to Boston through the supermarket channel. So the Boston population is 1.2% or multiplied by 0.012, and then the supermarket channel is 36% of the total, which equals 337,000 dogs. In terms of dollars, the entire market is $14 billion, multiplied by 0.012, and then 0.36, you get $60.48 million. Critique the segmentation profile. I offered you a description, which you can find the description in the notes sections of the notes section of this slide, which is where you want to be. This is your ideal goal, okay? We don't have that available to us. We don't have that data available to us in this case. But we have the transactional data, right? That the dry dog food, the people who buy dry dog food is 60% of the market, canned dog food is 20%, and treats are 20%. So if you multiply the market numbers by each one of these segments times 0.60 for the dry and 0.20 for the canned and treats, you get 202,000 dogs for dry and 67,000 dogs for canned and treats. In terms of dollars, following the same process, you get $36 million for dry and $12.1 million for canned and treats. So again, now the positioning. What do you think of these three segments? What do you think is most like the breeder's mix? And so we went through and did this positioning. Notice some people were confused in class by the axes, so I switched them around. So the canned dog foods is clearly closer to Breeders' Own pet food. Some people might include treats, but certainly dry has a long way to go. Okay, it's not similar at all. You would have to do a lot of education. So most people choose canned to compete against. Now again, as I've told you in class, you have to show that you can break even in this golden segment or this primary segment. Okay, you have to show that you can make it based on that. You can't patch multiple segments together because each segment requires a different marketing mix, which requires additional money, and no investor is going to invest in that. So calculating the reference prices for dry dog food, they give it in pounds, but to be consistent with the other segments, I broke it into ounces and then multiplied by 16 to get a range of about 80 cents to $1.76. I also did it in terms of pounds because the breeder's mix is 16 ounces. You can just divide 16 ounces or 1 pound, and you get slightly different numbers. They're not meaningfully different. Don't get hung up on this. Just keep going, okay? That you're, okay, it's about 80 cents-ish to $1.76-ish, okay? You're just trying to calculate a reference price. You don't need a tremendous amount of precision in this. And then the canned dog food, again, I converted it to price per ounce and then multiplied by 16. So, and then dog treats, I went through the same process. So we're competing against canned. They have a range of like $1.12 to $4.96. So this is a high quality food. So we need to pick a high price to align with the high quality. If you have if you're arguing high quality, but you assign a low price, that's going to create dissonance and reduce your sales. Taking margins, just to walk through this, the idea is you walk down through the chain, taking a margin at each step. So a customer pays $1, the retailer gets 22 cents, so the retailer is paying 78 cents, and then adding another 22 cents, and the customer pays $1. Now the broker gets 7%, which you take of the 78 cents. So the broker is getting about a nickel per unit, and you take that off what the retailer is getting. You don't go out here to what the customer is getting. So if you are going to have $5 per unit, the retailer's margin is going to be about $1.10, so the retailer's paying $3.90, but the broker is getting about 27 cents. So Breeders' Own Pet Food, on a $5 sale price to the customer, they're only getting $3.50 or so. Okay, these margins are killers, right? But for now, let's just say, so to make it easy to calculate, let's see Breeders' Own Pet Mix is getting $5 per unit, and let's not worry about the margins for now, okay? So, and I specified, to make it more realistic, the variable cost were $40 per case, or $3.33 per unit. So the contribution would be $5 minus the variable cost equals $1.67 per unit, okay? So, and the contribution margin would be the contribution right here divided by $5, or 33%, okay? The smaller marketing costs proposed are $530,000. The larger is $730,000. Okay, so now we're ready to roll with our break-evens. So the first one is the unit break even on the lower project. So it's $537,000 divided by $1.67. So they need, on the lower project, they need to sell an additional. They need to sell 317,000 units to break even on the lower project, and $437,000 to break even on the higher project. In terms of dollars, you simply divide by the contribution margin. So the break even on the lower project is $1.6 million and $2.2 million on the higher project. Okay, just to have a number to work with, let's use the higher margin. Okay, and so to figure out, well, okay, so how much of that canned dog food segment do we need to capture in the first year to break even on this project? Okay, our investors are giving us a 1 year. Okay, so the break even on the larger proposal in terms of dollars was $2.2 million. So and we're focusing on the canned dog food segment. So the segment share to break even is $2.2 million divided by $12 million is 18%. Okay, you can see it's a little bit better for the dry dog food, but we're not competing against dry dog food. I just put that there in case you're going to make that argument, because the financials are so difficult on the canned food. What a lot of students do is try to go to slide over to the dry dog food, but that won't work, right? This is very, very competitive. I went through this from page 116 in Exhibit 1. Very, very competitive environment, and the competition is spending a tremendous amount of money to defend their market share. So what happened is that this company accepted the $530,000 proposal. They priced it at $350 per unit, which you can imagine their margin was probably, given, it was probably $1.25, their contribution. They sold very little and went broke. Okay, so the lessons is the very poorly defined segmentation. This is an opportunity to educate your customer. This is an opportunity to go bankrupt. The product was a messy, unattractive, non-intuitive product for their customers, and their pricing was not consistent with the premium positioning. And their promotions, as I mentioned in class, they positioned off dry dog food. So it's all very confusing. It's not a clear, concise marketing message. There just wasn't enough customers. So, I hope you enjoyed the case. I'm happy to go through if you have any questions. Just give me a call.